Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to untangle the often confusing and, let's be honest, sometimes incredibly frustrating process of enrolling your child in Colorado schools. Whether you're moving to the state, switching districts, or sending your oldest to kindergarten for the very first time, getting this right is absolutely critical for your child's educational journey. Look, we know paperwork isn't exactly the most exciting part of parenting, but mastering this process, it totally sets the stage for a smooth academic year.
So if you're a parent or guardian pulling your hair out right now, frantically scouring the internet trying to find the ultimate cutoff date for the state, we really have a vital question to ask. When exactly is the Colorado school registration deadline? I mean, everyone assumes there's a big red circle on a calendar somewhere in a state office building, right? You kind of imagine this universal date that applies to every single family from Denver to Durango.
Well, here is the truth. There isn't one. No, seriously, there is absolutely no single statewide deadline for every public school, charter school, or district in Colorado. Instead, the state operates on a system of local control. This means the rules are set right in your own backyard. Now, that's fantastic for community flexibility, sure, but it can be a massive headache for parents trying to plan ahead. You've really got to shift your perspective away from searching for a single state mandate.
So to clear everything up, here is our roadmap for this explainer. First, the statewide deadline myth. Second, why timing actually matters. Third, understanding school choice. Fourth, the October count. And finally, your action plan. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The statewide deadline myth. Because there's no universal date mandated from the top down, Colorado operates on this decentralized approach. Basically, your specific school district, or even your specific charter school, gets to set its own timeline. The state's rules focus heavily on attendance, enrollment documentation, and funding counts, but they leave the actual registration calendar completely up to local administrators. Meaning, you have to check your specific district's calendar early and often, because the deadlines can vary wildly even between neighboring towns.
Section 2. Why timing actually matters.
Okay, so why are administrators so pushy about paperwork if there's no state mandate? Because missing your local window puts essential pieces of your child's education at risk. Think about it from the school's perspective for a second. They need to know exactly how many kids are showing up so they can hire the right number of teachers, map out the bus routes, and arrange specialized services. For example, the Colorado Department of Education notes that if a language other than English is indicated on a home language survey, the district actually has required timelines to investigate proficiency needs and arrange support. If you register at the absolute last minute, getting a seat on the bus or securing those vital language services could be severely delayed.
And let's be fair, missing deadlines is rarely about neglect. Families are often just dealing with complex life events. We're talking moves, housing changes, tricky custody transitions, or simply waiting on medical documents to arrive in the mail. Unfortunately, the impact of those delays is still severe. It can mean missing out on a highly coveted first-come, first-served preschool program, getting stuck with limited schedule options for older kids, or facing a delayed start date right at the crucial beginning of the academic year.
Moving right along to Section 3, Understanding School Choice.
We really need to untangle a massive nuance that traps so many families. You must never assume standard registration deadlines apply to school choice. Standard registration is just getting your kid into their assigned neighborhood school. Simple enough. But if you want to use Colorado's school choice system to attend a charter, a magnet program, or a school outside your immediate boundary, you are playing by a completely different set of rules. Those specific programs often have much earlier cutoffs, sometimes right in the middle of winter. Plus, they usually involve separate applications, highly competitive lotteries, and complex wait lists. Absolutely do not mix these two up.
Section 4. The October count.
Let's pull back the curtain on the bureaucratic machinery driving this whole process. Take a second to process this massive number, 870,793. For the 2025-2026 school year, the state reported over 870,000 pre-K through 12 students enrolled statewide. Checking in that many students is an incredible logistical hurdle. And it's not just about taking attendance so the principal knows who is in the building. This specific number dictates exactly how state funding is distributed to local districts, making accuracy incredibly important for school budgets.
Following this timeline shows exactly how your early planning feeds into this massive state system. In late winter or spring, you should be looking up those district pages. By summer, you need to complete that official registration to establish your child's entry date. Because by the time October rolls around, the state conducts its annual student October pupil enrollment collection. So, your spring planning directly impacts the district's ability to verify attendance, finalize placements, and secure their budget before that critical October funding window closes forever.
Straight from the source, the Colorado Department of Education explicitly says that enrollment is evidenced by your official registration and entry date, and those student counts are directly tied to the October count process. This highlights exactly why schools are so eager to get your paperwork early. Colorado law connects your child's enrollment directly to school finance. They need your official entry date locked in, documented, and verified to secure their state funding and arrange the needed support for your student. It's a chain reaction, and it starts the literal moment you submit your forms.
Finally, we arrive at Section 5, your action plan.
All right, let's shift from understanding the system to a checklist you can actually use. To beat the local bureaucracy, you just need to follow this essential 3-step action plan. Step 1, identify the correct school, whether that's your neighborhood assignment or a school choice option. Step 2, go directly to their website or front office and confirm their unique, specific deadline. And Step 3, gather your documents early. Seriously, don't wait until the week before school starts to realize you're missing a crucial piece of the puzzle.
Speaking of documents, here is exactly what you'll need. While exact requirements vary slightly by district, this list is almost universal across Colorado. You're going to want to gather your proof of age, proof of residency, immunization records, emergency contacts, and any previous school records right now. Do this early so you aren't delayed at the last minute by a missing piece of mail or a doctor's office that somehow takes 2 weeks to fax a simple health form when the enrollment window finally opens.
If you take absolutely nothing else away from this explainer, let it be this: shift your entire mindset. Treat registration as a proactive process, not just a single date on the calendar. You have to communicate directly with your school rather than waiting around for a magical calendar date to be announced on the evening news. If your child has an individualized education program, or needs language support, or has health concerns, reach out to the school well before any posted deadline so the staff can actually prepare for them to arrive.
As we wrap up, I really want to leave you with this final critical thought. Is your family prepared to actively manage this process, to reach out, ask questions, and gather your documents today? Or are you just sitting back, waiting for a statewide deadline that simply doesn't exist? Remember, the absolute smoothest start to your child's school year begins with what you decide to do next.